Hello, good evening, everyone. So today we are going to discuss a little bit about the teaching skills. Okay, we all know what is the current situation the world is in. The COVID-19 is spread everywhere around, and we need to maintain the social distancing, quarantine, or maybe social isolation. So we should be, as an healthcare professional, we should be more aware of our surroundings about these things and follow government procedures, government guidelines, and safety precautions. I hope everyone is doing good, is healthy and safe. So with all that, we know that the classes are not there, so we need to now catch up the syllabus, and we need to communicate between each other about these things. So I thought of making short videos about the content. So I'll be dividing the syllabus into four short videos beginning today. So this will be the first of those four videos. So today I'll be talking about very basic about your syllabus, the basic terminologies of education, what does they mean, and why do we need to study teaching skills. I always believe when you study a subject, the most important thing is to understand why you are studying a subject. That is where you will gain interest into that subject. So if you don't know why I'm studying a particular subject, then the interest is somewhat lost. So today I'll try to generate some interest so that the upcoming videos you will be more interested and more interesting to learn from me. Okay, so let's start. So the heading I've given is teaching skills. My name is Amar. So let's go to the objectives of the presentation. So what I want today from you is to understand the basic terminologies related to teaching skills and education technology. So our subject name is teaching skills and education technology. So we'll go one by one, trying to understand what does teaching mean, what does skill mean, what is an educational technology, who is a teacher, what is a curriculum. We have been hearing these terms all over school time, all over college time. Now you're into BPD fourth year, you might be studying, hearing about what is an instruction plan, what is not an instruction plan. So today I'll just define everything for you so that it's clear and you understood what basically it means. Okay. So this is your subject. So that is what I said. This is the course code PTY 4076, and today I'll be trying to define these terminologies. This is the teaching skills. I'll be defining the educational technology. Okay, and the course outcomes will be taking up in the next lecture. So let's start with the most common definition, that who is a teacher. So a teacher is a person who helps people to learn. So this is the most generous definition of a teacher. And I believe teachers can be broadly classified into formal teachers and informal teachers. Formal teachers are those which you meet in school, which you meet in college, which you meet in universities. An informal teacher is anyone who is not formally into the profession of teaching. For example, my mother is my teacher. She taught me so many things in my life. My grandfather is my teacher. He taught me so many things in my life. Similarly, friends are our teachers. They teach us something day to day out. So anybody can be a teacher in your life, and you can be a teacher in anybody's life. So just make sure that you follow this criteria for being a teacher. That you should be able to make that person learn something. Okay, learn something new, acquire something new, or bring about a behavioral change, which we usually psychologically define learning as. So I hope this is clear. So we basically define who's a teacher. A teacher is a person who helps people to learn. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. And now we talk about what is teaching. So what does a teacher does? Teacher does teaching. So the occupation, profession, or work of a teacher is known as teaching. So teaching is a verb, teacher is a noun. So what does teaching is basically carried out by a teacher. Again, it can be formal teaching, it can be an informal teaching, it can be a skill-based learning, it can be a skill-based teaching, it can be a problem-based teaching. Different categories, different understandings, different concepts. We'll be dealing with all those things. So now I think it's clear who's teaching is the occupation, profession, or work of a teacher. So what is a skill now? So teaching skills is the terminology. So now we are clear. Skills basically means train to do a task. The task can be anything. So for physiotherapist, task is to treat a patient. For a teacher, task is to come and deliver a lecture in the class. Task for a surgeon is to go and operate. Task for a doctor is to give prescribed medicines. So task can be anything. For a plumber, it is repairing. For a painter, it is painting. So a person who's trained to do a particular task is said to have a particular skill. And we all should remember that our profession is a skill based profession. So what is a skill? Skill is ability to do a particular task in a refined and a perfect manner. So I should know how to do it in a perfect manner, or in a learned way, or performing specific criterias. I'll Then I'll be called a skilled person. So teaching skills, basically what a teacher should have is teaching skills. So my task then will be, for a teacher, is to teach in the class. Okay, so I think these three terminologies are clear. So we discussed about teacher, teaching, and skills. So now the first half of the syllabus is clear to everyone, that is teaching skills. Now come the next question: what is educational technology, and why it is there in the syllabus? So this is a very narrow definition, where we define it as the study of ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technological process and resources. So it's basically use of technology, which can be anything. Okay, technology just doesn't mean PPT. Technology just doesn't mean softwares. Technology can be anything. Okay, that basically facilitates a student to learn, to improve his performance, and to gain knowledge and learn is basically what's the meaning of education and technology. So the application of technology to make my class more interactive, more learning, is known as educational technology. So currently what I'm trying to do is make a e-connect or make a presentation video. So this is also an educational technology that you sitting at your home is able to understand the lecture. You're able to get it, and you're able to view it, you're able to hear to me. This is a form of educational technology which I'm using to make you learn. Okay, so now I think we are clear about our syllabus. Our syllabus is teaching skills and educational technology. So now we know about what is teaching skills and what is known about educational technology. So any guesses about the next slide? Let's go for it. Okay, so this is a paper cutting. It's interesting. It says, I know it's wrong, I'm just waiting for the autocorrect. So this is just to highlight or reflect the purpose that technology is not always good. It has to be used by a rational person to make it good. So this slide just basically shows 17 minus 12. Okay, he's just waiting waiting for the autocorrect. Even if he is correct, sometimes we are doubtful nowadays in our life. Okay, I have written a spelling, I don't know, maybe autocorrect is required. This is just a basic broader aspect of that thing. Now we come down to some terminology which you have been hearing for so long in the LPU as well as in the school. What is a curriculum? Curriculum is nothing, is just the lessons and academic content that is taught in a school or in a specific course or program. So physiotherapy has a specific curriculum, chiropractics have a specific curriculum, then exercise physiologists have specific curriculum. That basically means we are only and only studying something which is related to us. That means the lessons, the content is defined according to my profession, according to my skill. So that is the basic meaning of a curriculum. Now, what is the syllabus? We have all been downloading syllabus through the UMS and seeing it again and again. Every university has a different pattern. Every country has a different pattern. Maybe some might have 6 units, 7 units, no units. But what basically is syllabus? Syllabus is a document about your course content. So what I am going to read. So for example, today you go home and download teaching skills syllabus, and then you will come to know, okay, these are the contents that the server is talking about. So and then it will have objectives, it will have goals. Okay, so after reading a subject, what I want to achieve is going to be the aim of the syllabus. Okay, so this is very important for you. Next comes the instruction plan. Okay, so what is an instruction plan? Instruction plan is nothing. I decided, okay, my, how will I plan delivering the lecture? So, for example, I looked up at your syllabus, then I decided, okay, one video will not be sufficient, so I'll be doing 4 different short videos because then it will become boring for you to listen to it. So, instruction plan is just the ability of the teacher to visualize and forecast into the future of what, why, and how the teaching learning process. Okay. So Then comes pedagogy. So you all have delivered lectures in the class. Okay, so you use different ways. Some use blackboard, some use whiteboard, some use presentations, some use innovation technologies like bringing a hand and telling us what is a tender point like. So there are different ways which I can approach to my teaching. I can stand and deliver, I can sit and deliver, I can use case studies, I can use presentations, I can use videos. So whatever way I'm using, I'm approaching to teaching is known as pedagogy. So we'll end it up here. I think it was a brief presentation, and at last, I want to say, Rudyard Kipling's six serving men. Always keep these six serving men into your zone. Okay, their names are what, why, and when, and how, where, and who. So always ask the question to your teacher, or always ask your questions to yourself whenever you're learning a particular thing. For example, I want to test quadriceps amenity. So I did it in sitting. So I can ask these six questions always. Okay. Why I'm doing it in sitting. Okay. How I'm going to do it. Where is I'm going to stand. Who is going to be the model. Who is going to be the patient. Okay. What is the purpose of the situation? What is the purpose of testing the muscle length? So always remember these six men, okay, which will guide you to different things. So we'll just summarize. I think the objective of the presentation is achieved. We were basically trying to understand the different components, different terminologies. So now we know what is teaching, who's a teacher, what is a curriculum, what is an instruction plan. So please go through this video. Please go through these slides and let me know if there are any confusions. Thank you so much for your time.